Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Tuesday, 6th of May 2025 is today. Now, I hope everyone is aware about the court proceeding of Nnamdi Kanu today, and it has also been adjourned to tomorrow according to the schedule. Okay, so something happened in the court today, and there are mixed reactions. When you go to the internet about Nnamdi Kanu court case, people are angry. People are just reacting negatively that the Nigerian High Court judge bars Nnamdi Kanu's relative from court for live streaming proceedings. Now, I want to state something there. Sometimes we should not act with our emotion. I'm a kind of person that always uses logic. First of all, if the lady, if not because senior advocate of Nigeria, Kanu Agabi, pleaded for her, by now they could have just taken her from court there to the prison. What is the reason why? Why would she live stream in the court room? Because they gave you permission to enter into the room and you start live streaming? Who are you videoing? For what reason? Remember that these are the reason Nnamdi Kanu legal team says that they are not going to even talk what happened in the court. So everyone, they told us that the proceedings are going smoothly, that Nnamdi Kanu is happy with the way things are going. Then why are you still trying to bring problem to Nnamdi Kanu? Whether you like it or not, you are there because of Nnamdi Kanu. They allow you in because you are a relative in-law. Then you started live streaming all those things. So I don't like when people react with emotions. So Justice James Omotosho is right, 100% right, even though he even sentenced the lady to 3 weeks imprisonment from there. It's a contempt, okay? It's a contempt. So I don't support rubbish. The lady supposed not to do that, no matter anything. You are there, you witness. If you come out, if you want to talk, you are not a lawyer. If you want to talk about what transpired in the court, you can tell people, today's court was like this. Just like streaming in the court where the court did not give you order to do so. So, for so many people that are writing different comments saying that there is nothing these people cannot do, there is this, why are you angry? What she did, is it correct? In everything I'm doing, I'm always asking questions. This thing happening, is it correct? Is it right or not? That is what I'm after. What the lady did is totally wrong and it's condemnable. Now, let's go to this article to understand what transpired. So our reporters wrote that Nigeria High Court Judge bars Nnamdi Kanu's relative from the court for live streaming proceedings. And this is the details of the article, okay? It reads that Justice James Omotosho of Federal High Court in Abuja has barred Mrs. Favour Kanu, sister-in-law to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, ipob, Nnamdi Kanu, from attending court proceedings after stating that she live streamed the session on social media. Justice James Omotosho ordered Mrs. Kanu to vacate the courtroom and barred her from attending the next 3 sittings. The judge said that he would have cited her for contempt of court if not for pleas from Kanu's defense lawyer, Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria. Before delivering the order, the judge summoned Mrs. Kanu, who is reportedly married to Nnamdi Kanu's brother, to the front of the court and questioned her about her actions. In response, Mrs. Kanu admitted to live streaming the court proceedings live, but claimed she was unaware that the judge was still sitting. So what the lady claimed that, oh, I don't know that the judge was still sitting. Yes, I live stream it. But that you are in the court, you say you don't know that judge was still sitting? No, that is wrong. That is wrong. Now, she offered an apology and pleaded not to repeat the act. Justice James Omotosho noted that her actions violated court rules and warned against similar conduct in the future. So I thank God that everything just ends like this, okay? Because now we don't need distraction. If we see anybody bringing distraction, we are going to deal with that person. We don't need problem. We don't need distraction. Let the proceeding just be going the way it is going, okay? We have seen that Justice James Omotosho don't even want to carry out a bias, proceeding. He's just trying to be fair, trying to use his conscience to the best of his ability. And from the report we are even getting from people around there, they are telling us that everything is fine. So such an act like this is very condemnable. And that lady, thank God that the Justice James Omotosho asked her not to come to, next 3 consecutive sittings of the court. So she should stay at home. For me, I really condemn the act. And nobody should talk against Justice James Omotosho, in my own opinion, for doing that, because Our people always try to react through emotion and not even think. I was expecting that people should be condemning that Kanu in-law. Yes, people should be condemning her, not even talking anything against the court or against Justice James Omotosho. If that were to be my sister or my relative, I will deal with her. I will deal. She will know that yes, what I have done is not just against the court. Because let me tell you, everyone is just calm. People are watching closely, all because we know that Nnamdi Kanu will be released at the end of this proceeding. This case is going fast. Before, we used to hear that after September, they adjourned it, what Binta Nyako was doing before. After September, they will adjourn it to December. From December to May, they will be given for 4 months interval. Or just James Omotosho, just watch what is going on now. They are doing it consecutively. You understand? Consecutively, just today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. That is what we want.
So, if anybody, when Nigerian citizens see the details of the Supreme Court statement today, they will marvel at how, after saying all these illegality that the federal government and their security agencies committed, all they had to do was that the primary court said, the appeal court said that the primary court had no jurisdiction. So they condemned the appeal court for taking that decision. Therefore, because the primary court had jurisdiction, the case should go back to them. So if in all these atrocities they committed, they had killed Nnamdi Kanu, what will be the basis of the primary court and its jurisdiction? What will be the basis of it? You know, when I started, I talked about judicial rascality. So what it empowers is security rascality. Because you cannot tell other police, army, navy, air force, condemn them plainly, and then you exonerate them. So you give them license to kill Nigerians, just like they are doing in Plateau, killing people. They are doing in Benue. Herdsmen are killing people. But you haven't had any person in this country condemn the herdsmen of Nigeria for killing hundreds of thousands of Nigerians. You haven't had them condemn the killings in southern Kaduna. So the security agencies are being encouraged to recklessness. And recklessness not about spoken word. Recklessness with gun, killing Nigerian citizens. So if anybody, when Nigerian citizens see the details of the Supreme Court statement today, they will marvel at how, after saying all these illegality that the federal government and their security agencies committed, all they had to do was that the primary court said, the appeal court said that the primary court had no jurisdiction. So they condemned the appeal court for taking that decision. Therefore, because the primary court had jurisdiction, the case should go back to them. So if in all these atrocities they committed, they had killed Nnamdi Kanu, what will be the basis of the primary court and its jurisdiction? What will be the basis of it? And look at the whole panel, about 7 judges, not one Igbo man, not one person from the southeast, not one person from the south. So it's a contrived business to put that boy, to put him behind bar. And we have been asking that they should turn him to Kuje prison. They refuse. Why wouldn't they allow him to go to Kuje prison? Why keep him at the DSS? Why? So it shows you that Nigeria is not interested in fighting insecurity. Because if they were interested and they love this country, they would have seen that Nnamdi Kanu is a major instrument that will bring security. Southeast will be a beginning. The other parts of the country would have been a follow-up. So it's unfortunate that you condemn security forces for the crimes they commit and you exonerate them by keeping Nnamdi Kanu there and asking that we go back again, to start case from, Federal High Court Africa. What actually is the sin of Nnamdi Kanu? Asking for justice for his people. That's all he's saying. That the Southeast has been completely, excommunicated from everything that happens in this country. So we pray that this young man, I don't know whether you have had the privilege to speak with him, one of the most brilliant young men you can ever come across. Not only is he brilliant, but well spoken. Why this country shows you that we have no values. Can you imagine a boy that a whole zone respects? A whole zone respects him. Who else, apart from M.I. Obara in those days and Dr. Nnamdi, they don't have as much respect as this young man. That would have been an advantage for Tinubu and his government with the National Security Advisor to say, look, how do we seriously start to curb this insecurity in the country? If this boy is so loved by his people, why don't we sit him down and discuss with him, know where he's coming from? If there are things he's agitating against we can solve, we start doing something. And look at Northwest and Northeast. Look at where the country is today. Everywhere is war, killing people. Killing is no more, it's an admirable, concept in Nigeria now. Any day nobody is killed, you don't hear it, then it's abnormal. But in the normal day, hundreds killed in herdsmen in Plano Plateau, in southern Kaduna, in the southeast, then not to talk of the bandits and Boko Haram in northeast and northwest. That one is a daily occurrence, killing hundreds of them. We're a country without statistics. If we have good statistics, people will riot to know the number of Nigerians who are dying. Every town now, in all parts of the country, people are burying people. People go to bed, they won't wake up. So it's all cumulative effect of total insecurity. Probably you do work somewhere, nobody pays you. You are working for somebody, you are not paid. You go to bed, you are thinking of what you will tell your wife in the morning. You can't pay school fees. The man goes to bed and won't wake up. And we say, God, please take my life. Why am I living? When a man cannot take care of his immediate family, what life is it anymore? And you don't want people to react. Young men leave school, no work. And they see somebody who rigged an election and goes to Abuja and he buys a armored-plated jeep for 160 million, and he wants him to go and sleep. His parents sell their property to train our young men and women, and they come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They can't say good morning, thank you to their parents. They will look at their parents without any hope of tomorrow. Parents who have trained their children, we should have hope that their children should get back to take care of them. But it's not the case in Nigeria. And we don't appear, our legislators are not interested. Executives all over the place are not interested. So I don't know how this problem will be sorted out. I normally find it very difficult to discuss a profession that I'm not one. But common sense also tells you that you can reason. If somebody is talking, you can reason. But it's painful because some patriotic Igbos, I saw 1 or 2 senators there who left everything they were doing to come to the Supreme Court with some hope. Because if you listen to the judgment of the appeal court, it was fundamentally very literate, accommodating on every aspect of it. So people were very hopeful that the appeal court would uphold the judgment of the Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court will uphold the judgment of the Court of Appeal, and that would have been a case done for. But unfortunately, because if you were in the Supreme Court, like I was, we were there as early as 8:30 in the morning. And when he started running this judgment, on every aspect of that case, he condemned the Supreme Court condemned the federal government of Nigeria. In fact, they used the word illegality not less than 20 times. The killing of people at Nnamdi Kanu's father's compound, they even named the number of people killed, the rendition from Kenya, how he was kidnapped. It was difficult to believe that after condemning the security services for unauthorized and unorthodox behavior, kidnapping Nigerians and killing people anyhow, I have never seen a court with that kind of finality in terms of condemning public officers who were working for government, telling them, you don't take the laws into your hands, only to finally, because they said they disagreed with this appeal court, that the lower court had no jurisdiction. It was the basis of what they are doing, that they should now go back to that court because it has jurisdiction to hear the case in the first place. That's just a matter of it. So if Nnamdi Kanu dies, after all this illegality, what case are they going to hear? This boy has been under detention for how many years now? Even the Supreme Court was asking all these questions too. The illegality that has been meted against him, and yet they still will go back again to the federal high courts, where with them will start begging for bail. He even condemned the government, that court, for revoking his bail. That was the exact statement of the Supreme Court. So you don't even know the basis of their final decision. So when people say that there is a judicial rascality in this country, you cannot but agree with those people, because unless it affects you, you won't appreciate why they said so. Because when you at the whole Supreme Court, everybody bent his face down. All lawyers we are so astonished. To talk of embarrassment is an understatement. But in all cases, as a Christian, we give glory to God.